Hello everyone, hope you've had a great week and are practicing and have got as far as I have got, and hoping that you're really enjoying it. Forgive me for my voice, I'm just a little bit off today, don't quite know what's going on, not feeling 100%, but I don't want to not post a video and let you all down. So just bear with me and we will try to get as much done and completed today of this eye as we possibly can. So we did this part of the skin last week. We got that as close as we possibly could, and we then filled in just a little bit at the top of the bottom of the eyebrow, and we filled in some of the darker part of the skin below the eye. So let's continue. I'm going to put in the eyebrow. I'm going to be using my 2H, and the reason for that, as I have told you before, is so that we start off with the lightest light and we build up to the darkest dark. So if I look at this eye, and we've been measuring, we've been using our pencils, and I have a look and see that the start of the eyebrow is about there. If I look at the tear duct and I go across, so I'm going across to there on my actual drawing, and I take a measurement from there to there, the eyebrow ends here. Now we've got a lot of loose hairs, or hairs that are not a part of this clump over here. Here we have a lot of hairs that are growing outside of this clump here too. So I'm going to measure from the top of this lid to the bottom of the clump there, just to get an idea of where that clump starts, and then I'm going to measure down to this last little loose eyebrow, and there I have an idea of where my eyebrow starts. I'm going to slightly, very lightly fill that in. We don't want a very dark line there. We just want an idea of where all of these little hairs, or eyebrow hairs, start and end. So let's get going. I'm hoping that the camera can pick this up, or is picking it up. But basically I am drawing in the direction of the hair. The ones at the bottom go across from right to left, and then they start, as with everybody's eyebrow, if you have a look at somebody's eyebrow that's sitting across from you, you will see that the bottom part of the hairs go in one direction, and the top part where the clump is goes in another. So I am getting all of these bottom ones in, and you can see that even though I had drawn in a faint line, you can't really see it now. There's a couple of straggles here, very light, beautiful little straggly hairs here. I'm going to put those in as well. You can make those a little bit darker. We're not going to go with any darker pencil with those, because they're quite light. I'm now moving up into this section here where I took this line where the clump is, and as you can see, the 2H works perfectly for laying down the first lot of hairs. So I've gone outside of the sort of square that I did originally. I did extend it, and now I'm putting in these random hairs at the bottom, and you can see that I've changed the angle of my hand purely so that I get a more organic look to them. And now I'm going to continue the clumpy area. We don't have to put them all in because we're mainly focusing on the eye, but we do want the viewer to know that there is in fact an eyebrow up here. I'm now going in across the top here. You can see that these go round. And I'm now putting those in. We will use a darker pencil just to get that depth. But for now, I just want to use my 2H just to get that direction. And those hairs in. You can see across here. So I've done more or less that. And then we've got these hairs that now go across into the clump that we've just done. That's what we're going to fill in. Now, as I said, we're not going to do every single hair, but we are certainly going to put in quite a few of them so that the viewer knows that this is what this is. These hairs go up and it becomes quite dark here. So I'm going to do those. There's a couple of straggles and there's one or two that stand out. I'm just going to continue. This is all just very organic. You don't need to be copying every single hair, because as you can see, as you start adding them in and as you start layering on top of your 2H, you do start getting a eyebrow effect and the direction of the hairs. So we will go in, as I said before, with our darker pencil. I'm going to now get my 2B and I'm going to work. Oops, that is not sharpened. Apologies for that. So we get that a bit sharper. We do want a bit more of a point here, because obviously these are hairs. There we go. That's much, much better. And like I said, we're not going to do all of these. We are going to get in an amount that conveys to the viewer that what they are looking at is in fact an eyebrow. And you can see how nicely the 2H works underneath the 2B, because as we start going up, sorry, let me just move that out of the way. I've left that. As we start going up into this particular area here, and you start layering on top, so you're going to go across and then you're going to go on top and back across again, because you can see that here it goes up and around, and that's what we are trying to portray. And remember that eyebrows do not all grow in one direction. Just want to get that dark and deep look there. Get back into here, get this direction going from the bottom again. The bottom they are definitely going right to left, and they are thicker in some parts than they are in others. And that's what we want to try and get across. And if you think you have enough, believe me, you never ever have enough eyebrow hairs. It's quite incredible as to how many you need. Now we're going to go across here, because these do come from the top, and they come down into this bottom section here. I'm going to do some of these stray ones, for want of a better word. These ones are quite dark. Some of them come down quite low. Quite scraggly. Let's go back into this again just to get a bit of depth. Go back here again. You can see that I'm going in the opposite direction just to get that fullness. And some of these areas really are quite clumpy and dark. So we're going to blend that a little bit, because that's the only way we're really going to get that clumpiness. I just want to sharpen my pencil again. Get some more of these hairs in over here. I like these stray hairs. I think that it gives it a very, very organic look, and we can start putting in a little bit of the detail at the bottom underneath that you can see on there, just to get that organic look. They do go across each other, and then these go up. It's almost vertical. Let's use our blender, and in fact I'm going to use this little brush. Oops, my apologies for doing that. Going to use this little brush. So don't go down into this area here, because that has a light reflection. Go into the area that you can see that is darker and blend that out. You can see it's a lot darker in this area here. Just take that sharp edge away. Comes down. And let's work back onto the eye section. The bottom where this is. Let's start working on that. So I'm not sure we're going to finish this today, because we are going to be looking at it in the next tutorial and having a look at what more we need to be doing. It's quite difficult to get all this detail in one session, because it's quite intense and you don't want to lose the focus of what you are doing by doing too much. And I'd rather do shorter sessions and have a better drawing than a longer session and it doesn't look as good as it should. So here you can see I'm putting in these eyelashes. There are some little white hairs that are showing here. There's some hairs that go up and there's some hairs that come down. You can quite clearly see them. They are just gorgeous. That's why I love this photograph, because it just has so much that we can do here. And I know a lot of people would say like, oh, you're doing skin, it looks awful. But believe me, it only looks awful when you are studying it and in it like we are. Putting in some of these light, this light area over here. It's a lot of light area. So we can go a little bit crazy here. Just wondering what your week has been like. We've had quite a lot of wind. It's been raining, not my favorite weather at all. And waiting for summer. Can't wait for summer. In fact, I love the heat. And far rather have that than have this gnarly wind that's blowing. On Wednesday, I played golf with my usual partner, and we started off in the first 9 were absolutely fabulous, wind-free, sunny, warm, gorgeous, and then the wind came up and oh my word, it was gnarly. Couldn't believe it. Ended up with my jacket back on again, wondering why I was playing. But it's always better to play than to not play, I have to say. The end of it, I'm pleased that I have. Just going to put in some of these little white highlights that run across the eye here. I know that the eyelashes are over them, but just for our benefit, I have taken it across the eyelash. As you can see here, it just gives you a better look. And we can just take our pencil back in and fill that eyelash in. Here we go. Take that up and under, just to give it a better look. Right, going back down into here. I have gone from one side to the other, I know, but it does make for a better, more interesting tutorial, I think, perhaps. Just putting in some more of those white hairs. And I just want to put this bit of light in again at the bottom. Demarcate that a bit more. Get all of these lines going. I don't know why putting so much debris onto the paper, which is unusual. It doesn't usually do that. There we go. Okay, everybody. I am going to take my brush and just soften some of these, because some of them are a little bit too big, a little bit too long, and that's how you can shorten and soften and change the whole look of it. So it isn't quite so glaring. And then we're going to go in with this blending stump, and we're just going to a couple of shadows. I'm not really getting much on there, so I'm going to blend here, get some more on my, there we go, that's a bit better, just to get a bit of a shadow going down here. The shadow is quite deep. This line going across here is quite deep. So I'm just going to deepen that a little bit and then come back up into here. So deepen that a little bit. You can see that it's all starting to really take shape now with putting in the detail. And there's gorgeous little white hairs. These go down towards not even the nose, I suppose the mouth. So we just want to get that in. And you can create some here without having removed any of it, you know, with the blending stump, because you should have enough on your blending stump to be able to put that in. So if I look at this area here, we just need some more very, very fine streaks coming across here. And then it also has like these bigger rounded areas. So we'll put some of those in. So it's not an easy area to do at all, as you can see. But we will try. Get it as close as we possibly can. Just do it lightly. There's no rush with anything. I love these little white hairs that we've managed to pull out. I just think that they are gorgeous. They really, really are. Almost want to put in more. There's one here we can pull out. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go into the side of this eye. I've now got my 6B, and I'm going to deepen and darken this edge of the eye just to give it a bit more depth. I'm going to go into the side here too, just to give it a bit more depth. I think that that works really nicely. What I want to do is I want to lighten this area here. There is a white section here that I seem to have missed, or a highlighted section. That is actually the lid, the top lid that I missed. It's actually the top lid there. If you can see that it goes down, it connects into the bottom, and I missed that out, so I just want to put that in. There we go. So I haven't chosen the easiest eye to do, but I think you will agree with me that it was very exciting to do, and you've enjoyed it. Darken that. A couple of these down. And I think that we can go over it next week and just see. If there are any comments, please do leave them in the comment section. Let me know what you think, how you feel. If there's anything that you feel should be done, because perhaps what we should be doing is taking this pencil, sharpening it and adding a bit more depth to some of the eyebrow area here. And that can most definitely be done. It's entirely up to you, because the focal point is, of course, the eye itself. And as I said to you at the beginning, it's not quite the quality that I usually do. I can feel that I'm off, but that's purely because I'm not feeling the greatest, which is fine. Happens to everybody. But as I said to you, I still wanted to do a bit more of this eye so that you can continue, because I'm pretty sure that you are as excited as I am to see this finished. Let's see if we can pull out some of these highlights on the eye, the eyebrow, should I say. Give it a bit of depth as well. Quite light across the bottom area here. Quite a big light reflection going on here. Pull some out here. And there we go. There we have an almost completed eye. We shall definitely have a look at this in the next tutorial and see what we need to add, what we need to take out, and briefly go over what we did and how we got to where we got to. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Bye.